हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सब? आई गेस you're doing wonders and adding stars to your life. In the previous video, I have told you guys a very interesting topic that was our rational numbers. In the same fashion, today we shall look about a very interesting topic that is our irrational numbers. So, are you guys excited and interested to know more about irrational numbers? So, without wasting any time, let's get started and know more about what are irrational numbers. What do they actually mean? Irrational numbers, irrational numbers are real numbers that cannot be expressed or represented as a simple fraction. Now, what do I mean by simple fraction is in the form of a ratio, cannot be expressed as a form of ratio, that is a by b, where your a and b are two integers and where your b is not equal to 0. When asked about irrational numbers, in simple terms, we tell that irrational numbers are opposites of our rational numbers. Having a quick recap on what are rational numbers, let me tell you, rational numbers are any numbers that can be expressed in the form of a by b, where your a and b are two rational integers and where your b is not equal to 0. And we even know that rational numbers are repeating and terminating decimals. But it is not the same in case of our irrational numbers. Our irrational numbers are non-repeating and non-terminating decimals. Next, moving forward, we shall look after the very interesting properties of our irrational numbers. Here are the list of properties that an irrational number follows. Since our irrational numbers we know are the subsets of our real numbers, so irrational numbers will obey all those properties of the real number. The first property over here is real number plus irrational number, it will always give you a irrational number. Now what do I mean by this term is the addition of irrational number plus a rational number will always result in an irrational number. For example, let us assume that here x is irrational and y is rational. When we add up, when we sum these two terms, the result is z, which is an irrational number. I would suggest you, recommend you to have a look after this property, try it on your own, take a paper, put on any two irrational numbers, rational and irrational numbers, sum them up and observe the result. It will be helpful to you to find whether this property satisfies or not. Moving forward to the second property we have is irrational. Irrational into non-zero rational will give you an irrational number. Now what do I mean by this term is the multiplication of any irrational number with any non-zero rational number will always result in an irrational number. Now let us assume that here x, y, x, product of x and y is equal to z. Then we can even assume that x is equal to z by y, which is rational. Since the contradicting that the assumption of x is irrational, we can tell that the product of x and y must be irrational. See, when you do the product of x and y, you will get z, which is an irrational. But contradicting to this, when you take x is equal to z by y, this is a rational, but here your x is an irrational number. So you can even have a try on this property, put on your take your paper, put on irrational and non-zero rational numbers, product them, multiply them and observe the result. The third property is LCM may or may not exist. Now what do I mean is LCM, we know LCM is nothing but our least common multiple. So whenever you take the least common multiple of any two irrational numbers, you can see that LCM may exist or may not exist. I even insist you to check out this property on yourself. Now what do I mean by this is take any two irrational numbers, Put them on paper and try finding out their LCM. You will observe that LCM of those two irrational numbers may exist or may not exist. Okay, I insist you even trying out this. Next, moving on to the fourth property, addition or multiplication of two irrational number is equal to rational number. Now, what do I mean by this term is the addition or multiplication of any two irrational numbers may be a rational. I'm not telling that it will be a rational. It may be a rational number. For example, when you consider root 2 into root 2, we will get the answer as the result as 2. That is, if it is multiplied, root 2 is multiplied twice, then the final product obtained is a rational number, that is your 2. In the same fashion, when root 2 is added up 2 times, you'll get the answer as root 4. But as root 4 being a perfect square, the result will again be an irrational number, which is 2. Hope you guys are clear with the properties of irrational numbers. Now moving forward and looking towards the values of the most famous irrational numbers that exist today. The first one is your pi. You know, pi is a very famous number we use everywhere. Second one is your Euler's number, and the third one is your golden ratio. So these three examples are the most famous examples of your irrational numbers. When we speak about pi, its approximated value is 22 by 7, which you get it as, let me have a pen please, which will be approximately equal to some 2 point, sorry, it's not 2 point, which will be equal to 3.14. When you look after your Euler's number, you will get a value of around 2.71, and your golden ratio will be of 1.61 and so on. They are non-terminating. These numbers are non-terminating and they are non-repeating. So these numbers keep on moving. We don't have any value for these numbers. There's no end for these values. So these are the most famous irrational numbers. Now you can get and doubt that are irrational numbers real numbers. You can even get the doubt that whether we know that rational numbers are real numbers. Then again you can get a doubt whether irrational numbers are also real numbers. So let me tell you, in our mathematics, all the irrational numbers are considered as our real numbers. But there is an exception that it should not be a rational number. I repeat, it in our mathematics we know that rational numbers are real numbers, but we have a doubt whether irrational numbers are real or not. So let me tell you, all our irrational numbers are considered as our real numbers, but there is an exemption that it should not be a rational number. Now what do I mean is that irrational numbers cannot be expressed as ratio. It cannot be expressed as ratio of two numbers, and whatever the irrational numbers are, they can be expressed in the form of non-terminating fractions and in other different ways. Now what do I mean by non-terminating is, take the value of pi, that is 3.14 and so on so on so on. It is not terminating, it is non-terminating, it keeps on moving. There is no end to the value. Scientists till date, they have not found, mathematicians, they have not found any value, exact value of pi, Euler's number and golden ratio. But yes, pi has an approximated value of 22 by 7, which is 3.14. And for example, the square roots are which are not our perfect squares. Whatever the square roots you have your root 3, root 2, root 5. Whatever square roots you have which are not a perfect square will always result in an irrational number. So these are few examples of our irrational number, famous examples of our irrational numbers, and I even have told you whether an irrational number is a real number or not. Moving forward, now let us discuss the sum and product of irrational numbers. First, we will check out about the product of two irrational numbers. There is a statement which states that product of two irrational number is sometimes a rational or irrational numbers. Now, what do I mean is, whenever you do the product of two irrational numbers, whatever the result you get, it might be a rational number or it might be an irrational number. For example, if you consider, let me have a pen. For example, if you consider root 2, we know root 2 is an irrational number. Now, how do we know root 2 is an irrational number? Because it is not a perfect square. We don't have any perfect square for root 2. So, we know that irrational number is, root 2 is an irrational number. Excuse me. Yeah, but when your root 2 is multiplied twice, when root 2 is multiplied by root 2, we get the result as 2, which is our rational number. In the same fashion, we already know pi is an irrational number. We have just now discussed that pi is an irrational number. But when pi is multiplied by pi, we get a result of pi square, which is an irrational number. So it should be noted here that when you are multiplying two irrational numbers, its result may be an irrational number or maybe it might be an rational number. So guys, this is about the product of two irrational numbers. Now moving forward and looking towards the sum of two irrational numbers. Same like our product of two irrational numbers, even the sum of two irrational numbers will also result in rational or an irrational number. It has the same statement as of product. See, what is the statement over here is sum of two irrational number is also sometimes rational or irrational number. When you consider an example, for example, let us consider another example. You have 3 root 2 plus 4 root 3. When you sum these two irrational numbers, you will get the output or the result as an irrational number only. But when you consider another example where you have your root 3 plus 4 root 3 plus of minus 4 root 3, you can see this is the positive irrational number and this is your negative irrational number. And when you sum up this two, when you solve this term, you will get answer as 3, which is your rational number. So even here you could say that you should be very careful when while you're adding or multiplying two irrational numbers, because it might be result in an irrational number or an rational number. So therefore you can observe here that while you add two irrational number, the result will be a rational number or an irrational number. I guess you guys are clear with the product and sum of two irrational numbers. Now moving forward, you know how to find sum and product of two numbers, but how do we find an irrational number? So you might get a question, how do we find this irrational number? We know how to sum and how to add and multiply irrational numbers, but we don't know now what are irrational numbers, how to find those irrational numbers. For example, I'm considering here we will find the irrational number between 2 and 3. Let us have a look. We know 2 and 3. We need to find the irrational numbers between 2 and 3. We know that root 4 is equal to 2 and root 3 is equal to 9. As our root 4 and root 9 are perfect squares, we will get a rational number as an answer, that is 2 and 3. Now we know 2 has a root 4 and 3 is root 9. So the irrational numbers which are lying between this root 4 and this root 9 are root 5, root 6, root 7 and root 8. Okay, so therefore the numbers which are of irrational numbers between 2 and 3 are root 5, root 6, root 7 and root 8. And when you observe them, you can see that these are not your perfect squares. See, root 4 and root 9 are perfect squares and they can be simplified further. Root 4 simplified further, you'll get root 2. Root 9 simplified further, you'll get root 3 because they are perfect squares. But when you observe these four numbers, root 5, root 6, root 7 and root 8, they are not perfect squares and you can conclude that they cannot be simplified further and hence they are irrational numbers. I guess you got a clear idea about how to find irrational number. Irrational number simply अरे भाई जो भी रूट का जो भी number which doesn't have a perfect square root and which cannot be simplified further उसको consider कर लो irrational number और जो भी root are perfect and can be simplified further उसको consider कर लो they are rational numbers. Next, similarly you can even find irrational numbers between any two perfect square numbers. Now how do we find? Let us take another case where you need to find that root 2 is irrational number or not. So let us assume a case of this root 2 and now how can we find if this root 2 is an irrational number is a very big question mark. So moving forward and looking for this, let us suppose that root 2 is a rational number. We need to first assume or suppose that this root 2 is a rational number. When we assume that root 2 is a rational number, then we have a definition for our rational number. And what is the definition of our rational number? Our rational number define that it can be written in the form of p by q, and where p and q are two integers and q is not equal to 0. This is the basic thing of rational number. Putting the same definition over here, you get root 2 is equal to p by q and consider this as equation 1. As we have considered root 2 is a rational number, we will put the definition of rational number and simplify root 2 is equal to p by q. We know that p and q are co-primes and q is not equal to 0. Now what do you mean by co-primes? See, co-prime integers or co-prime numbers are those numbers whose common factor is 1. Whose common factor is 1. These are called as co-prime numbers. Next, these two things should be considered and supposed and you need to assume it in the starting. After assumption, moving forward, you need to do SOB to the equation 1. Now what do I mean by SOB is squaring on both the sides of equation 1. When you do SOBs on equation 1, you get 2 is equal to p square by q square. You get p square by p square by q square. Now let me simplify this for you. When you do squaring on both sides for this is your equation 1, root 2 is equal to p by q. When you square root on both sides, here you'll get a square and here you'll get a square. Now when we simplify this further, this square and this root gets cancelled, you'll get 2. On the right hand side, this p is multiplied by square, you'll get p square, and q is multiplied by, you'll get q square, and this you go here. This is the equation you have got. 2 is equal to p square by q square. When we simplify it further, when we simplify this, p is equal to p square by q square, you will get p square is equal to 2q square. Now how do we get this? Let us assume this is equation 2. How do we get this? Just cross multiply कर लो बच्चों, you will get p square is equal to 2q square. Now we have a very important theorem of our irrational number which states that whenever there is given, theorem states that given p is a prime number and a square is divisible by p, where our a is any positive integer, then it can be concluded that p also divides a. So from that theorem, if here in this case, from that theorem, if 2 is a prime factor of p square, if this 2 is the prime factor of 2 of p square, then this 2 should also be a prime factor of p. This is from the theorem of irrational numbers. So according to this theorem, we'll get p is equal to 2 into c, where your c is an integer, Now we got the value of p. Let me erase the screen. Yes. So you got that p ka value, you got p is equals to 2 into c from the theorem, where you know p is an integer. Now substituting this value of p in this equation 2. Equation 2 क्या है? P square is equals to 2q square. When you substitute this in this equation, you'll get 2c square is equal to 2q square. You'll get 2p square is equal to 2q square. When you simplify it further, you'll get 4c square is equal to q square. 4c square is equal to q square. You'll get this 2 this side, multiply this 2 with this 2, you'll get 4c square. But you have a square over here. So 4 ka square is 2 and c square. 2c square is equals to q square. This is what you are getting over here. So what do you imply with this? This implies that 2 is the prime factor of q square also. And it can be again said that 2 is also a prime factor of q. From where? From the theorem. So we can conclude that 2 is a prime factor of q square also. And again from the theorem it can be also said that 2 is also a prime factor of q. And now according to the initial assumption, this is our initial assumption that we have made. So according to that initial assumption, p and q are co-primes. We know p and q are co-primes, but whatever the result is obtained with this assumption as p and q have two common prime factors other than 1. This is our assumption, but the contradiction is that due to this incorrect assumption, our root 2 is a rational number. It is root 2 is rational. Due to this assumption, root 2 is rational. So root 2 is a rational number. Similarly, we can justify the statement, okay, in the beginning that if p is a prime number, then the root of p is an irrational number. Similarly, it can be proved that for any prime number p, root p is our irrational number, and you can solve. This is one way of finding root 2 is irrational number or not. There are many irrational numbers. You can take the famous irrational numbers pi, golden ratio, Euler's number, and you can take any other number 5 by 11. You can take root 3, you can take root 2, you can take minus root 3, you can take root 11, root 21, root 5, all these numbers, and you can check whether they are irrational numbers or not. You can check whether these are irrational numbers or not an irrational number. So we have discussed till now what are irrational numbers, what are the main irrational numbers, what are the main irrational numbers. The most common irrational numbers are your pi, which is 22 by 7, holding a value of 3.14. Then you have your Euler's number E, holding a value 2.71. Then you have your golden ratio, holding the value 1.618, and so on. And root, the main is root. You have your root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 8, any number under root which cannot be simplified further. These all are your irrational numbers. So you can even find out whether these are irrational numbers or not by this method. By using this method, you can even solve for other numbers too. Next, we have looked after the sum and product of two irrational numbers, and we have looked after how to find an irrational number. Hope you guys are clear with this video of irrational numbers, and hope this concept has made clear and easy for you. If you are new to this channel, please like, share and subscribe this channel and spread among your friends and co-students or co-friends so that it can be circulated among everyone, and this video might help everyone in initializing and finding irrational numbers and making this topic easier and friendly to them. Thank you friends. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.